In this video we're going to make a splat the rat board. This has been made for a fundraising event at a local school. These are great fun and the kids of all ages love trying to smack the rat. Because people are hitting this with a bat, the board needs to be made from something substantial, so a 1-inch thick plywood has been used. To start off with, we need 2 identical pieces of board. So I've used the Evolution track saw to cut 2 pieces of plywood at 600mm by 900mm, which is roughly 2 feet by 3 feet. 1/2-inch plywood would probably be suitable, but this is made from an offcut. When cutting sheet materials like this, it is critical to ensure the board is supported during and after the cut to prevent the blade from being pinched. This was made using offcuts of timber and bits that I had lying around, so it costs less than £10 to make it. Before we go any further, can you please subscribe to the channel and like and share the video, as this really helps me out. I'm now giving both boards a light sanding using the Mercaderos, which is fantastic as there is barely any dust. Firstly, I'm using 80 grade abrasive, then swapping to 240 grade abrasive. Once all the edges and boards have been sanded, I am then giving the boards a good clean using methylated spirit, which is often called denatured alcohol in some countries. Now I'm using 2 3-inch electro brass plated hinges and fixing these by drilling a pilot hole with a hinge drill. We now need a stair to keep it in the open position, so I'm going to use this, and I'm not entirely sure what it's off. I just found it in the scrap bin. So I do tend to save pieces of metal like that because one day they will come in handy. So we can simply screw that on there on one side and ensure that it still twists, and then on the other side we're going to cut the metal and put a slot in it using the hacksaw. Drill a small pilot hole and screw that into position, then the locating screw on the opposite board. I'm then going to use a washer on the inside, then a nylon washer, and then another penny washer on the outside. And that will make that part really easy to turn. I have then found 4 rubber feet, which I think came from a chop saw. These can be screwed to the bottom of the A-board to keep it from touching the ground. Now it needs a few coats of paint. Originally I tried spraying on the primer, but it didn't spray too well, so I reverted to the 4-inch roller. To prime this, I'm using Zinsser Bullseye 123, which is a water-based fast-drying primer. This will be overpaintable in about an hour. Before you use the primer or the top coat, it's a good idea to give it a really good mix. For the top coat, I'm applying 2 coats of Zinsser All Coat, which is a water-based gloss. This is a very quick drying paint and gives a durable finish, which is a good job as people are going to be smacking this with a wooden bat. I'm now cutting a piece of leftover drain pipe to length. This will be fixed down the dead centre of the board by drilling holes and fixing using cable ties. I'm now adding a handle and a catch to keep it in the closed position for transportation. The decoration on the front of the board was not done by me, but it was done by the girlfriend. But the stripes are simply red duct tape. The rest are stick-on transfers, apart from the Splat the Rat wording, which was printed off on the computer and transferred to the board, then painted using acrylic-based paint. If you are making one of these, it's easier to just get a vinyl sticker made.
Ready, steady, go! Ooh.
Thanks to the volunteers at the school who did a fantastic job of raising funds for the school. No kids or rats were hurt during the making of this video. I hope you found this video useful. If you have and you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel.